Hello, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Coming up next, we've got what should be a good one between the...
Okay, Coach, thank you. We are about 4,300 miles away from you there in Orlando as we come to you from the European home of the NFL, London, England. Coming up, another edition of the NFL International Series, and it should be a good one, between the Chicago Bears and the London Bulldogs. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. At a glance at the man under center at 6'5", he always demands attention.
It's pretty much become the norm when we see guys come out before a game and go through the route tree with their receivers. I thought it was exciting for us to see the exact same thing happen in practice.
He's so meticulous, isn't he?
He really is, and that tells me it's not just a one-time-a-week thing. They work on it all the time, trying to hone that fine edge. They want to see if they can get in sync and stay in sync in this one.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. They'll look to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
A strong running. A 41-yard punt, 9 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And trotting out there, their tall quarterbacks, standing at 6'5".
And I liked what his head coach told us about him this week, that no matter what happens, whether he throws 7 interceptions or 7 touchdown passes, he's the same assertive leader in the huddle on each and every play. He can throw the 7 interceptions, just blame the football, blame anything else, and still carry himself like he is the man.
It's like you, assertive in our production meetings.
Well, especially when we're talking about ordering dinner, ordering some snacks.
I was just going to say.
That's where I go. Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high-powered, you got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
A run there on 1st down, and a pretty good one at 5 yards, so make it 2nd and 5. 5 yards on the carry, good pickup on 1st down. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give him the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made here at the Bears 16. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed. And
that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes...
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Back him up, back him up.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even deeper into territory, you get into the red zone, they're going to guard it even more, which means more pressure, more blitzing.
A nice job of eluding the pressure there, scrambling for 11.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm, they had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
And he will have the 1st down before he's brought down at the 3. It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's 1st and goal. Back to throw. He enters, and he will take it in for the touchdown. from 3 yards out as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
Well, as a lineman, they are trained. You've got to stay close to home. If you're more than a yard downfield, they're going to toss that flag, and they did there. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on 3rd down. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. Taken in at the 22. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Now, they'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. It means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now. I think the good offensive coordinators in the league now are looking at the fullback position and finding the right guys to hide in that spot and increase their passing game, as we just saw there. How about the run after catch? Racked him.
Well, yeah, whether it's a true fullback, a tight end you put in the fullback spot, you know they're going to be tough to bring down if you can get them the football in the passing game. Now a handoff here to his running back, and he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. On first down, Winters, he's going to take a shot for the end, and it's caught. Touchdown. In for the score. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
Yes, sir.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
It's been such an impressive first half to get that lead. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they've got it with a 3rd down and long coming up. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. And he uncorks a beauty. Best of the day. It's taken to the 26. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for third down. Looking to throw. Winters. He's got a man. It's his fullback. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
Now that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
Back to throw. Winters. But prior to that, he had hit his first 6 passes to start the game, so on a nice little run to begin.
It feels like this offense has carried its dress rehearsal into the game. You know, because you do practice it. You do go.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 25. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. Now they'll run it on the toss. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. It's a loss of 2, now third down. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, people say bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
Nothing doing on second and third down after that 9-yard gain on first.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle.
Let's go!
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1.
No gain on the play. Brings up 3rd and 1.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the first down. He needed a yard. That's what he got, and it's going to earn him a new set of downs. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Winters. And the catch made by Walters. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A good gain of 12 yards that time. This quarterback now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's first down. Had a bit of a lane there. Took advantage of it. Give him 7 there on the first down carry. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Winters, wide open receiver, complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 33. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 down at the 33. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
All right, we get slap happy up here sometimes. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. 2nd and 2. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. It was Roquan Smith who got his big hand in there to knock it away. They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he will have the first down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Check, watch 54, watch 54.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And they'll work this down to the 15 for a pickup of 4. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down. 2nd and 6. And he's into the end zone for the receiving touchdown. A 15-yard touchdown grab. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead.
Heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. Now the Bears going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He's going to air one it. Got a man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. It's a gain of 35. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. A first trip to the red zone for the Bears. They've got it 1st and goal at the 6. They'll set up a throw. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. It's a loss of 4 on what ought to be the final act of this first half. And he's going to go down. So they pass up the field goal attempt to go for 6, but as a result, they leave points on the field, and that's going to do it for this first half. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. He had a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. And right now they're in that number 2 spot. They'd love to hold on to that, but first things first, they want to clinch that division.
Well, let's go back to the conversation we had with the coaching staff, and you asked that very question about how important is it really? You got a good team. Can't you win from any spot in the play? They all looked at us like we were crazy, right? You can do it from a lower seed, but no one really wants to try it. Higher seed, much better for them. They want to clinch this division.
Definitely don't want to slip to 5 or 6 and go on the road in that first playoff game.
Check 13. Check 13.
Now a handoff here to his running back. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. The line to gain is the 33 on 3rd down. Back to throw. Winters. Past the 20, and he's got Walters. Big catch. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 12-yard line. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, and tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. To throw on 2nd down. Winters. And it's caught. Touchdown. From 3 yards out. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. And let's count them up now. 1, 2, 3, 4 touchdown receptions for him in this game.
And just one shy of the NFL record. What a great performance. Going up and catching the football, creating space, and finding the end zone. That's what it's all about.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here at half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Another drive comes and goes, still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
This is fielded at the 27. Give them 11 yards that time on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And he'll give it here to his running back. He's got the first down and more past midfield. And gets it across the 50 and down to the 48. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down. Right back to him on first down. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. That 2nd down play nets a -4.
Yeah, and that was a safety that came through and made the play, but there's no doubt in my mind, He hits like a linebacker, and we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. Now a third down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
He's going to fire one, and he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 15, and he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the third quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, the teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. The screen good for 6, but it's not enough as it leads to a 4th down.
They dialed up the screen pass on 3rd down, and for a second it looked like it was all going to come together, and they had a chance to pick up a 1st down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
It'll be a net of 40 yards there following a 43-yard punt, 3-yard return. So here is the home side to take over on offense. This is sort of what you would call the put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Give him 14 on that one and a 1st down. This quarterback now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. A lane opens up that time as he'll be brought down just short of a 1st after a gain of about 9. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Gonna give this time to the tailback. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down. Welcome back now here in London. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Pretty nice work defensively there on the 1st down run as they hold him to a gain of a couple. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. And he'll give it here to his running back. And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball. Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
Looking to throw. Winters. That is caught inside the 5. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. Some collective exhales over there on the sideline. A big pickup through the air on 4th down to bring up 1st and goal. Back to throw. Winters. And it's caught. Touchdown. A 2-yard touchdown grab as his guys continue to pour it on.
And now we've hit that stage of the game, partner, where one of our predecessors, one of the great commentators of all time, he used to sing in this situation when this game appeared to be over.
I know the fat lady's been singing for some time.
No, not her at all. This is one of our guys.
But she's singing too.
Oh, she's singing. She's
on like the 5th tune.
Yeah, she left Scales way behind, but he used to sing something about turning out the lights. The party was over.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. That one, a first down pickup of 8. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Here's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. Mark that down as a pickup of 13, and the Bears have the first.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
They'll drop the throw. He finds Douglas complete. Touchdown, Chicago! A big play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bears get a bit closer. So they will get on the scoreboard here. Give them credit for that. Too little, too late, but no 0. Oh, you're going slow clap on me.
Not very nice, is it?
No, but they haven't been very nice on offense. It's been a struggle. Point after here coming up. And the lead drops from 34 to 27. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. So here is the home side to take over on offense. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game is certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. So possession goes over here on the punt, and the Bears take over. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. They were looking to go back to Gates. That'll bring up 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. 2nd and 10. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. The Bears on 3rd down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. He'll drop to throw. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 16 yards is the pickup there and a 1st down for Chicago. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. So the Bears with a football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14. 2nd and 14. And that's complete to Gates. And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives him a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Completes it to Douglas. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So they say no to the penalty. The incompletion stands. It'll be 2nd and 10.
And what they want to do is go ahead and take those downs away from them. You never want to give extra snaps to any offense. That's how you get hurt.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Now a 2nd timeout called for by the defense. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. A great play there. His 11th touchdown of the year. And the Bears cut into that lead.
Offensive line coaches always tell their guys, if we score touchdowns, that means we got to the end zone first. That's exactly what those blockers did, clearing the way for their back.
No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. And the lead is down to 20. So it would no doubt be a miracle comeback from here, but let's see what they can do starting with the onside kick. And it looks like this one won't work out. Hands team able to secure the football. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of an anecdotal type of a...
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. That one looks like he'll throw here. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. That last catch short the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. And again, they stop him behind the line. That is read well for a 2nd straight play defensively. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Looking to throw. Winters. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown.
Well, I've got to laugh here, and I really don't want to because the old school in me is not happy about this score this late, not necessary. But this is Madden, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is how it works.
Rub it in. Have a day.
I mean, what does it matter? These guys who are playing in this game, there are no feelings
Exactly.
there.
They don't have to face the guy. Well, they might if they're in the same room going head-to-head. But
that's
the
about
virtual guys on the screen don't have to face each other after this one.
In that case, run it up.
Solid return. Pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. One final shot. They'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off at the 11. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Londoners, they continue to roll as the win gets them to 12-2 on the year. And now it's off to Heathrow as they get set to fly back to the U.S. in a couple hours.